Hello, and welcome to the HVAC Technician Position interview. Thank you for coming in today. Before we begin, could you please introduce yourself?
Thank you. My name is Michael Ross, and I'm an HVAC technician with a little over 5 years of hands-on experience in installing, maintaining, and troubleshooting residential and light commercial HVAC systems. I've worked with split ACS, VRF units, heat pumps, and ventilation systems. I'm also certified in refrigeration handling and electrical safety. I'm really looking forward to discussing my experience today.
All right, thank you for the introduction. Let's start with something basic. Could you explain what superheat is?
Yes, of course. Superheat is basically the temperature of the refrigerant vapor above its boiling point at a given pressure. In simple terms, it tells us whether the refrigerant leaving the evaporator is fully vapor. We check superheat to make sure the compressor is protected from liquid refrigerant because liquid entering the compressor can cause severe damage.
Good. And could you also explain what subcooling is?
Sure. Subcooling is the temperature of the liquid refrigerant below its condensing temperature. The main purpose of checking subcooling is to make sure the refrigerant entering the expansion device is fully liquid. Proper subcooling improves system efficiency and helps avoid flash gas issues.
Very good. Now what about an overcharged system? What are the symptoms?
An overcharged system usually shows high head pressure, low superheat or low subcooling depending on the situation, and overall poor cooling efficiency. The compressor may also run hotter than normal because the system is basically working harder than it should.
All right, tell me, what is the purpose of a TXV?
A TXV, or a thermostatic expansion valve, controls the amount of refrigerant entering the evaporator. It does this by maintaining a constant superheat level. It helps the system run efficiently and prevents liquid refrigerant from going to the compressor.
Good. Now could you explain the main difference between R22 and R410A refrigerants?
Yes, R22 is an older refrigerant that contains HCFCs and is being phased out because it's harmful to the ozone layer. R410A, on the other hand, is an HFC refrigerant that operates at much higher pressures and is more environmentally friendly. The two refrigerants are not interchangeable because they require different pressures and use different types of oil.
All right. How do you normally check for refrigerant leaks?
I usually use multiple methods. The common ones are an electronic leak detector, nitrogen pressure testing, the soap bubble test, and sometimes UV dye. For accuracy, I prefer nitrogen pressure testing and electronic detection together.
Good. So tell me, why do we use nitrogen during brazing?
Well, we use nitrogen to prevent oxidation inside the copper lines while brazing. If we don't do that, carbon scale forms inside the pipes, which can block the TXV or restrict refrigerant flow. So, purging with nitrogen keeps the inside of the piping clean.
All right. Tell me some reasons an evaporator coil might freeze.
There are several reasons, I think, like low refrigerant charge, dirty air filters, restricted airflow, a faulty blower motor, a stuck or malfunctioning TXV, or simply running the system when the outdoor temperature is too low.
Okay, what do you think is the purpose of pulling a vacuum before charging a system?
I would say the purpose is to remove air, moisture, and non-condensable gases from the system. Ideally, we pull the vacuum down to 500 microns or lower. Any moisture in the system can cause acid formation and damage the compressor, so proper evacuation is extremely important.
All right, how do you test a capacitor?
First of all, I use a multimeter with a microfarad setting. I disconnect the capacitor safely, discharge it, and then test it. The reading should be within plus or minus 10% of the value written on the capacitor label.
What could cause high head pressure in a system?
High head pressure can be caused by a dirty condenser coil, an overcharged system, poor airflow, a faulty condenser fan motor, or non-condensables inside the system.
What about low suction pressure?
Low suction pressure is usually due to low refrigerant charge, a restricted metering device, low airflow across the evaporator, a dirty coil, or sometimes weak compressor valves.
Could you explain the role of the compressor in the HVAC system?
Yes. The compressor basically pumps the refrigerant through the entire system. It raises the pressure and temperature of the vapor so heat can be released in the condenser. Without the compressor, the refrigeration cycle wouldn't work.
All right. What are non-condensables, and why are they a problem?
Non-condensables are gases like air or moisture trapped inside the refrigerant lines. They cause pressure imbalances, increase head pressure, reduce efficiency, and can lead to compressor overheating.
All right. What safety precautions do you follow when working with refrigerants?
Um, I always wear proper safety gear like gloves and goggles, ensure good ventilation, use the correct recovery equipment, avoid mixing refrigerants, and follow EPA or local regulations regarding handling and disposal.
Lastly, could you explain what a heat pump is and how it works?
Yes, a heat pump is a system that provides both cooling and heating by reversing the refrigeration cycle. It uses a reversing valve to change the direction of refrigerant flow. In heating mode, it absorbs heat from outside and brings it indoors.
All right. Thank you for your time and for answering all the questions so clearly. Our hiring team will review your responses, and we will get back to you soon with an update regarding the next steps.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I appreciate your time and I look forward to hearing from you soon.
Great. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.